we get the buy off that now it's going to come down to price. I like everything. And so let me go ahead and take a few minutes and figure out the cost here. Here's this book I'd like you to go through. You say that you guys handled a book here, so you'll do that at that time. And then when you get back, and I mentioned this to Josh, so we're going to follow the script pretty closely in the close for learning it. Actually, I grabbed someone's. I don't know whose this was.
Oh, that's mine.
Yours? Okay, so that's this. So, all right, so there's two things that we're going to do. And if you want to make notes, I don't know if you guys, you know, these are...
Yeah,
So right now, this is going to be price presentation. We're going to present price. Okay, this is the first step in the close, and this one's important. You know, there's a lot of things going on in the close. You know, there's a sequence of questions we lead them through, but the first part of it is presenting price, and you got to do this right. You got to get this down. So, first thing you do is you review the scope of the work. So you're going to write out on your quotation sheet, you know, the windows, the sizes, white on white, grills, no grills. You're going to get it all put together. And now you're going to present it and you're going to review the scope of work. So it's going to go something like this. So John and Mary, I just want to go over the details here and make sure I haven't left anything out. And this is also your safety net. Because let me tell you, you won't be the first if you leave a window out, if you miss a window. Okay, you forgot that closet window that they think you measured and you don't have it. This is your last check to make sure we're all on the same page. So you're going to go over, okay, here we go here, Jonathan. I just want to review this, make sure I got everything, I haven't missed anything. We're looking at the window in the kitchen window. That's going to be a gliding window, white on white. We have the Frenchwood slider right next to it in the kitchen, window by window, because they might say, oh, you missed the closet window, Jonathan. Oh, I did, you know, for some reason. And now you have a chance to add it in there. Because let me tell you, try presenting price and then figuring out you missed. You're eating that window. And that's going to come out of your commission, because a lot of people aren't going to, after they've agreed on a number, be willing to pay $2 more grand for a window you missed. Yeah. Okay? So this is for them and for you to make sure that you have everything down and it's correct. So you review the scope of the work, and then we do something called a, you ask, you know, does that sound right? Did I leave anything out? No, that sounds right, Joey. You got everything in there. Great. You know, John and Mary, when our crews come out, do you have a preference on where we park the truck? You know, in the street or the driveway? And see what they say. This is a trial close because you're putting a little bit of a hook out there. You want to see if they've taken ownership of the project. You know, oh well, no, I don't know about a truck coming out. You know, let's just see the price first. You'll find most of the time they'll say, you can park in the driveway. You know, wherever you want, wherever's best for you guys. Okay, perfect. I'll make note of that. Okay, so you definitely want to ask that question. John and Mary, when our crews come out, do you have a preference on where they park the truck here? No, I don't. You can park in the driveway or the street. Okay, great. So with that, John and Mary, I can do everything that we've talked about for only $15,522. Okay, and I did go ahead and break out, you know, a couple of payment options for you to consider. I know you talked about, you know, doing this with cash, but I figured it couldn't hurt. You might see something that you feel is attractive to you. You know, so we can do this for $317 a month, or I have another option for as little as $186 a month for you to consider. And we also have the no interest for 1 whole year, which is very popular with our customers. So again, $317 a month, or $186 a month, or the 1 year no interest. You know, once you decide to do this, Jonathan, do you think you're more inclined to use a credit card or pay with a check, or use one of these payment options?
I
think you'd still use a credit card?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So follow me up to that point. Okay, we review the job.
I feel like you always throw only blank, because it's like, oh, we can do this and it's only
$118,000.
Yep.
And they're like, only like.
Yep.
Because they said.
And make sure we say 15,522. 21,269. We don't say $21,269. Okay, 15,522. Okay, we can do this for only 15,522. That's going to be the example we're using in this process. So we review the scope of the work. Okay, we do our trial close. Where would you like us to park the truck? Okay, when we get here. And then we present price. I can do the whole project here for 15,522. I went ahead and broke out a few different payment options for you to consider. I know you were talking about using your credit card, Jonathan, but I figured it wouldn't hurt anything. You might see something that you like. And once you decided to do this, do you think you're going to be more inclined to use the credit card or to maybe take advantage of one of these payment options? Okay, so I want to get that down, and then we will move on. So we're going to review the scope of work, we're going to trial close, we're going to present price, we're going to let them know we broke out a few different payment options for them to consider, and then we're going to ask them, once you decide to do this, do you think you're more inclined to still using the credit card or using one of these payment options? So you can follow it right here. It has, so we're going to go from review the scope of the work to the second line right here. Now, if they were to say, well, I might use that 1 year no interest. 1 year no interest.
That's what a lot of my clients do.
Yeah, and right then you're going to ask, would you like to see if you qualify for that? It wouldn't take, but maybe 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay.
You just throw that out there. If they say yes to that right then, that's pretty good. They might say, well, not yet, Jonathan. That price is a lot of money. That's what you want. You want them to eventually tell you how they feel about the price. Okay, and that's coming up next. So let's get this down really quick, and we'll kind of go through it all, and you can go through it in the script. So again, once you decide to do this, do you feel more comfortable paying with a check or a credit card, Jonathan, as you mentioned, or you think you'd use one of these payment options? Does that make more sense to you? Well, I think I'd still use the credit card. Okay. And if they say, well, I need to think about it, hopefully you're going to get a response like that. If they don't give you that, then, you may ask them, what do you think about the investment? You need to get it out of them if they don't give it up. But a lot of times they'll throw it out there. I need to think about it, And of course, if they say I need to think about it, what's the next obvious response to that?
According to the script, or according to
Well, I mean the script as well. I would want to know.
Yeah.
Is it the price
Why?
or the
'Cause
payment?
you just
Do you
went
need to
through
think
and
about?
you're agreeing.
What were you thinking? It was like how?
Yeah. Next, it's going to be what were you hoping it was going to be? What were you thinking it was going to be?
What
So
did you want to spend?
right now, I want to find out when they say they need to think about it. I need to know: are they thinking about the price or are they thinking about the payment? Okay, because it's going to help me where I need to go if I know that the payment is too much or it's the price that's too much. Okay, so let's go through this. We'll just kind of read through this. You play customer for me. Who has the script? You have the script, Jonathan? So once you decide to do this, we'll just go through it just the way it's written out here. So once you decide to do this, do you feel more comfortable paying with a check or credit card, or do one of these payment options make more sense to you? And you're going to say this line right here. Well, I don't.
Well, I don't know. We got to think about it.
So you need to think about the payment, or is it the overall investment?
Well, we weren't going to be making a decision today.
Okay. Or they can say,
or the other ones.
yeah. Well, you give us a lot of food for thought.
We need to check our finances.
You check your finances, or it's a lot of money. It's a lot more. That doesn't matter what they say. Okay, this is the time when you just and the more you practice the close, which you'll probably spend a lot of time on. So the close is very important. The more you know at this point is where you just kind of sit back and relax. Because it's all planned, okay? They need to tell you, throw out all of their defenses, right? When you think about it, I got to check my finances. Oh, it's a lot of money, Joey. We weren't expecting to do anything today. Don't matter what they say. Okay. I'm always going to sit back, relax at that problem, and that's no problem. I'm going to leave you with all this information. I'm going to leave you with the written quote, as we talked about. But is it okay if I just ask you a couple of questions?